Pueblo, Colorado to the 21st Annual Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. We started a little bit late. We have 2 outs in the top of the first inning with the Cardinals out of South Dakota batting. Our first batter, Slim Shoulders, struck out, and Jordan Courtier flew out to the pitcher. Tiger Courtier got a base on balls, and he does have a pinch runner. And now we have Junebug walking, the 20-year-old pitcher from South Dakota. Pinch runner on first. Walking. Fouls off that ball. Ball a bit outside. Pitching for the Bandits. It's number 7, Gus Valdez. His catcher will be Alex Del Valle. Called strike 3 on Junebug walking for out number 3. And that will end the top half of this inning. No hits, 1 runner left on base, no errors. For the Cardinals out of South Dakota. We're going to take a quick break as we switch sides here. The 21st Annual Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. We'll be right back here from Pueblo, Colorado.
Fort Lewis College has a very large Indigenous student body. We take a lot of pride in that, and serving Indigenous communities is part of our mission. It's part of who we are.
For Fort Lewis to be able to change lives, they need the financial support. They need the generosity of Alpine Bank.
Banking doesn't need to be complicated. Above all else, Alpine Bank wants to help you achieve your dreams. It's that simple. I'm Glenn Gemrod, President of Alpine Bank. For over 50 years, our focus has been on you. And for the next 50 years and beyond, that won't change. Because a better tomorrow for our customers starts with helping their dreams come true today. Caring together.
Welcome back to the 21st Annual Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. The bottom half of the first inning, DH Chris Norris up to bat. Shows bunt, pulls it off, takes ball 1. Pitching for the Cardinals is Junebug walking. His catcher is Tiger Courtier. I'm told that this is Junebug's 2nd year pitching. And he's bringing some heat already at a young 20 years old, pitching for the Cardinals. He's also asked to give a shout out to the Oglala Sioux tribe in South Dakota. Norris shows bunt again, pulls off. takes strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike in the bottom half of the first inning. Designated hitter Chris Norris up to bat. Ball outside. Got a little bit of rain that's supposed to stop here the next 10 or 20 minutes. Lays off the changeup, draws a walk. So Chris Norris starts off the batting order for the Bandits with the walk. That brings up number 12, Pueblo Figueroa. He's the right fielder today for the Bandits. Catcher lines up outside. Ball's a little too much outside for ball one. Norris on first base, no outs. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball's off. A little high, 2 balls, no strikes for Pueblo Figueroa. High chopper gets over the second baseman into right field. Norris makes his way to third. Pablo's standing up on second. It's just too high of a hop for the second baseman. Hogue. Look. We have a lot of listeners down in South Dakota cheering on the Cardinals. Please forgive me if I mess up any of these names. I'm doing my best. But again, they definitely wanted to say hi down in South Dakota and give a big shout out to the Oglala Sioux tribe. So shout out to the Oglala Sioux tribe in South Dakota. Batting now is Nestor Nova, shortstop for the Bandits. Bandits have runners in scoring position, second and third, early in this game. Called strike. Nestor didn't like the call. Walks it off a tad. We have Ruben Casals behind the plate umpire. Bill Crabtree out in the field. Looks at the third pitch of his at-bat. Called strike. Doesn't like that call either. We'll see if Nova adjusts his strike zone or if he takes what he feels is not a strike and leaves it up to the umpire behind the plate. Decides to take that one to right field. That's going to bring in 2 runs. Norris is letting Figueroa know to come in easy. Be careful on that home plate as it might be a little damp from the rain. We've just got, looks like it's starting to slow down. Bandits take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. The 2 RBI single by Nestor Nova. He's up to catcher Alex Del Valle. Del Valle batting cleanup. Takes a cut at that one for strike 1. Walking with the pitch. Squeezes him inside, kind of knuckles him. Easy play for the shortstop. Jaden Long Soldier tracks that one down for the out. Roberto Sierra, the batter, second baseman here for the Pueblo Bandits, with Alex Del Valle on first base. Ball called on the pitch. Two and 0 count for Roberto Sierra. Joe Santos Memorial Tournament in its 21st year here in Pueblo, Colorado, with the host team Pueblo Bandits with the bats, currently with a 2-0 lead over the Cardenals from South Dakota. Sierra with the 3-0 count. Walking with the pitch. Called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. Walking doesn't like what he's being called for. He finds something he likes. Looks like he's probably going to come back with the fastball. Just a bit outside. So Sierra draws the walk. Del Valle heads to second. That brings up 0-0. Edgar Prischker. Edgar again rocking the nicest cleats of the tournament, the Jordan 1s. Check swing, foul ball. Again, we'd like to recognize the Santos family for keeping this tradition alive for 21 years in memory of Joe Santos. His sons Chris, Mike, and Jerry, along with Joe Santos' wife Fran, put this on every year. Memorial Day weekend. It's always a great time here in Pueblo for the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. Sponsored by Alpine Bank, Angeles Chapel Waste Management, Heart and Soul Cafe, and the Arriaga family in memory of Paula Arriaga. That pass ball advances the runners to second and third. Prischker with the bat. Lays off. Pass ball. Valle says no thank you. Excuse me, that's Nestor Nova on third. He says no thank you. Ball outside. Three balls, 1 strike on Prischker here, the first baseman for the Pueblo Bandits, left-handed batter. Called strike, the 41-mile-per-hour changeup. Edgar does not like the call. Feels like that was a little inside, maybe even a little high. You see that on the replay. Brought up by Luciano Franvo. But Edgar, it's a base hit to right field, bringing in the 2 runs. Del Valle and Sierra score on that base hit by Edgar Prischker. Prischker will take advantage of the designated runner, who is Anthony Ants Griego. So we have Griego on first. And the left fielder, Logan Newman, up to bat. Lays off for ball one. Takes a cut at it, fouls it off. Bounces off the backstop, ends up on the first base side. Junebug walking with the ball, has her pitcher. His catcher is Tiger Courtier. 1-1 count. Lays off for ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike for Logan Newman. Jerry Santos, third base coach, giving some feedback to Ants Griego on first. Base hit, he wants to see him on 3. No hesitation, he says. That ball gets through. I expect to see you here on third base. Logan takes a swing on that. Misses for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Calls him on the changeup for strike 3. Junebug walking, has that changeup working tonight. Again, I was told he's just 20 years old in his 2nd year at pitching. Throwing against one of the top teams of the nation, Pueblo Bandits. Holding his own. Bandits with a 4-0 lead. Ants Griego on first base as the designated runner, with Mario Ducey at bat. The left-hander out of Pueblo, Colorado. Pueblo Central High School alum. Two-0 count, 2 outs. Ducey lays off, but it's called a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike for Mario Ducey. Lays off that high and inside pitch. Three balls, 1 strike for Ducey. Called strike, fills up the count, full count on Mario Ducey with Ants Griego on first base. 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Bandits put up 4 runs so far. He lays off for ball 4. Griego advances to second, doing the right thing, taking the base on a full count with 2 outs, getting that head start. Now we have the 9-hole hitters. This is Caleb Roberts, the center fielder. Looks like we had an appeal on the jump by Anthony Griego, and they said he left too early. Okay, we have word that Griego stepped off the base while the pitcher was on the mound. So Junebug walking had the ball in his hand on the mound. Anthony Griego steps off. That was caught by the field. by Bill Crabtree out in the field, calls him out for out number 3. So that ends the first inning, but not without the Bandits scoring 4 runs, taking the lead 4-0 here in Pueblo, Colorado against the Cardinals of South Dakota. We'll be right back after a few brief messages.
Fort Lewis College has a very large Indigenous student body. We take a lot of pride in that, and serving Indigenous communities is part of our mission. It's part of who we are.
For Fort Lewis to be able to change lives, they need the financial support. They need the generosity of Alpine Bank.
You're a true friend. You make everybody feel important. You show up through thick and thin. I'm Jay Rickstrew with Alpine Bank. At Alpine Bank, when you walk into a branch, you'll be greeted with friendly hello and with a warm smile. Because the best way to build trust is by caring. We care about our customers, our employees, and our communities. We care.
We're back here in Pueblo, Colorado. Junebug walking is the pitcher for the Cardinals. Pitching for the Pueblo Bandits is Gus Valdez. Hit back to the pitcher, Hobe Luke, for out number 1. Mentioning the pitcher for the Pueblo Bandits, Gus Valdez, I'm told that he has a twin brother, Arturo Valdez, and both of them play for the Mexican national team. Strike called on Jeremiah Braveheart. We have 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Swing and a miss for Jeremiah Braveheart. That swing nearly caught the catcher there, Alex Del Valle. Catching a bat to the forearm doesn't feel good. Even a hit to the glove doesn't feel good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Called strike 3. So Jeremiah Braveheart goes down looking for out number 2. That brings up Jaden Longsoldier. Jaden is the shortstop for the Cardinals, number 21. There's the pitch. It's a deep fly ball to center field. That's got the center fielder turned around. It's going to bounce off the fence. Throw into second. And Longsoldier with the stand-up double. Long fly ball off of Gus Valdez. It's a nice hit. Seems like that wind still is carrying the ball left and right. Swirling wind out there. Called strike on Charles Longsoldier III. Jeremiah Braveheart with a nice lead after the pitch. Looking for a pass ball potential, taking third base. Valdez catches that corner for another strike. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Charles Longsoldier III. Ball outside as Alex Del Valle takes a look at the runner on second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Longsoldier. Calls him strike 3 on the outside corner. 70-mile-an-hour pitch for out number 3. So after that double, the Cardinals can't get that run in. Still staying at 0 runs. We head into the bottom half of the second inning here at the 21st Annual Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. We'll be back. All right, we're back at the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament, second half of the second inning. Bottom half up to bat. For the Bandits is called strike on the batter. What's this guy's name? He has a different number on the scorecard. Who's batting?
This is Roberts.
All right. Caleb Roberts, the batter, his first at-bat of the game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Change-up thrown. Lays off it for 3 balls, 1 strike. Got Junebug walking, mixing in that change-up every now and again. Trying to keep the Bandits on their toes. Fastball this time coming in at 67 miles an hour. And Roberts fouls it off. Rain has stopped here in Pueblo, Colorado. It is beautiful weather, slight breeze. Ground ball to the shortstop, taking care of business over there is Jaden Long Soldier. Nice play for the Cardinals there for out number 1. Brings us to the top of the lineup with the DH number 4, Chris Norris. Strike on the outside corner. Chris is asking, is that right on the outside edge of the plate? And Ruben Casals, the umpire, says, yes, sir. Slap attempt there for Norris. Swing and a miss. Gonna have to give these cleats the second best cleats of the tournament so far. I can't tell if those are Jordans or if those are just Air Force Ones, but nevertheless, they are the second best cleats of the tournament so far. Edgar Prischker has the best cleats of the tournament with the Jordan 1 Retros. Norris, 0-2 count on him, walking with the pitch. Lays off it for ball 1. Check to the umpire. He's talking to Chris over there. Good move on Chris. Mike Santos over there distracting the umpire. So we check the ump. After his brief conversation, he says no, he did not go. So we keep this count at 1 ball, 2 strikes for Chris Norris. Change up a little bit inside. That dropped to 40 miles per hour. Junebug walking. Looks like he's working in the high 60s, maybe catching a few 70-mile-per-hour fastballs, and then pulls the string on a 40-mile-an-hour changeup. It's hard to adjust, especially if it's in the zone. Norris works his way back into the count with the full count, 3-2. 1 out for the Bandits with a 4-run lead. Draws the walk, just a little too much outside. So Chris Norris draws his second walk of the game. Brings up right fielder Pueblo Figueroa. Lays off it for ball 1. Tiger, the catcher, looking back. Chris Norris, making sure he's being honest with that lead over there on first base. That's kind of a wild pitch there, pass ball. Norris takes advantage of it and takes second base. 2-0 count for Pueblo Figueroa. Checks his swing, no go. 3-0 count for Pueblo. Again, thank you to everybody watching on Softball Premier TV. We have Luciano Lafrano here, taking care of all of our technical live streaming capabilities. Got time on the field. Manager wants to have a few words with Junebug walking. He has walked 2 batters in a row. Chris Norris draws the walk, as well as Pueblo Figueroa. Again, if you're in the Pueblo area, stop by Joe Santos Field. Plenty of food in the concession stand. Lots of ice-cold beverages as well. Some merchandise. I saw some Joe Santos Memorial Tournament shirts available for $20. You go to other tournaments and other places, you're spending at least $30 on a t-shirt, so Santos family wants to keep that price affordable for all their supporters, so come on down and snag a shirt for $20. They're in baby blue this year, pretty sharp. See a few people walking around with them. That's a pick-me-up 1-2 before the tournament's over. As long as they have a schmedium, a size schmedium. Nestor Nova, the batter, swings and misses, but the catcher cannot hold on to it. So Chris Norris advances to third. Figueroa decides to stay at first. Again, Nestor Nova, the batter. A shortstop for the Pueblo Bandits. Fouls that one off. Not sure the height of the pitcher here. Junebug walking, but he's got some pretty good size, and for just being 20 years old, I think he has a bright future at the pitching position. Attempts the changeup, no coverage on the steal, so Figueroa steals second and moves on to third on the pass ball throw from the catcher out into center field. So Norris scores. Figueroa moves from first to third, with Nestor Nova in the batter's box with a 2-2 count. 1 out. Ground ball to the shortstop. He's got it clean. Runner holds at third. Figueroa thinking about it still. So that was eaten up by Jaden Long Soldier for out number 2. Fields that cleanly with a nice throw for the second out. And that brings up the catcher, Alex Del Valle. Alex had a single his last at-bat. Ball 2. Junebug seems to think maybe that was good enough for a strike. As Jeremiah Braveheart on first base gives him some feedback. 3-0 count on the 66-mile-per-hour pitch coming in from Junebug walking. A little ahead of that one, fouls it off down the third baseline. Alex Del Valle, the 3-1 count. Figueroa on third base, fouls off another one. Full count still with 2 outs, the bottom of the second inning. Bandits with a 5-0 lead. Around 30 minutes left on the time clock for this game. Junebug with the 3-2 pitch. That's line down the left field line, foul ball, just missed the line. Not by much, he missed that line just by a hair. He's sitting on that fastball. If Junebug decides to go for that changeup, might be the right pitch here. He's had a little bit of control issues with the changeup, but when it's in the zone, it looks good. Del Valle read it. That was the changeup, but he was able to send it to center field. Taking it all the way to 3 for a stand-up triple. Sat back on that pitch, as you could see. Drives it opposite field. Gets through the infield. And Del Valle showing off the wheels with the triple. And Ants Griego will come in to run for Del Valle. He's probably going to take a breather and get his equipment on. He's the catcher for the Pueblo Bandits. Ball inside. Roberto Sierra, second baseman. One ball, no strikes for Sierra. That's gone. He got a hold of that one. Deep to left field. That is what I would consider a bomb. 2-run, home run for Roberto Sierra. Straight out to left field. Sat back on that one and drove it deep over the fans sitting in the left field bleachers or lawn chairs. What a nice swing. I think he knew as soon as that one made contact, that was gone, as he watches it sail away for a home run for Roberto Sierra. Edgar Prischker, the batter, the first baseman for the Pueblo Bandits. So we got the ball in. That was definitely a no-doubter. Ground ball off the foot of Prischker. Oh, I hope he didn't damage those Jordan 1s. Take some time. Back, Edgar Prischker seems to be all right after taking that one off the toe on the swing. Fouls that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Prischker. Looks like Junebug Walking is having a little bit of problems with the mound. Having some troubles on his landing spot. He keeps looking back at the dirt after pitches. Prischker lays off that one. Full count. Prischker, the big lefty first baseman for the Pueblo Bandits, sits back on that changeup, able to get enough of it to foul it off. Has the changeup working. He's getting it into the zone a lot better. Loses that one for ball 4. So Prischker draws a walk. That brings it up Logan Newman. Struck out looking last time. He's a left fielder for the Pueblo Bandits. So we have Edgar Prischker on first. Logan Newman batting. Lays off the fastball. Coming in at 63 miles an hour for strike 1. Keep noticing Junebug looking back at the mound. Looks like he's having some issues with the footing. Take a look at this pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike on the batter. That one's fouled off, out of play. Oh, it is in play. Caught by the third baseman for out number 3. Thought that was going to be out of play, but it ended up staying in play. And Trent Herman tracks it down for the 3rd out. The Pueblo Bandits on a roll here with an 8-0 lead here at the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament in Pueblo, Colorado. We'll be back after a few short messages.
Fort Lewis College has a very large indigenous student body. We take a lot of pride in that, and serving indigenous communities is part of our mission. It's part of who we are.
For Fort Lewis to be able to change lives, they need the financial support. They need the generosity of Alpine Bank.
You're a true friend. You make everybody feel important. You show up through thick and thin. I'm Jay Rickstrew with Alpine Bank. At Alpine Bank, when you walk into a branch, you'll be greeted with friendly hello and with a warm smile. Because the best way to build trust is by caring. We care about our customers, our employees.
And we're back here at the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament at Joe Santos Field. Batting number 3, Jeremiah Braveheart. Trent Herman, the batter. He says he went on that swing. I'm not sure he did. 1-1 count for Herman. That looks like it was supposed to be outside, but that came inside. Del Valle lined up on the outside part of the plate, but the ball ended up traveling in on Herman. He takes a hack at it, fouls it off. Takes a look at that pitch, and that's called strike 3. So Trent Herman goes down looking for out number 1. That brings us to the top of the lineup with number 7, Slim Shoulders. Shoulders struck out his first at bat, takes ball 1. Shoulders takes a swing at that one, not able to make contact. Gus Valdez pitching a good game so far. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, Joe Santos field in Pueblo, Colorado. That's called a strike. We have a 2-2 count here for Slim Shoulders, the left fielder from South Dakota. Called strike 3. That's his 2nd strikeout of the game. Might have been a little outside. Taking a look at this replay. Jordan Courtier, the batter, center fielder for the Cardinals, takes strike 1. Fouled that one off, 70-mile-an-hour pitch. Falls in the count, no balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Ruben Casals, home plate umpire, says that's a little too high. Called strike 3. Goes down looking for out number 3. No runs, no errors, no hits, no one left on in this half of the inning. Bandits still holding an 8-0 lead over the Cardinals of South Dakota. We go into the bottom half of the 3rd inning here in Pueblo, Colorado after this quick break.
Fort Lewis College has a very large indigenous student body. We take a lot of pride in that, and serving indigenous communities is part of our mission. It's part of who we are.
For Fort Lewis to be able to change lives, they need the financial support. They need the generosity of Alpine Bank.
We're back here in Pueblo, Colorado at the Joe Santos Memorial Tournament. Batting for the Bandits is Mario Ducey, the 3rd baseman. Taken for ball 1. Ducey thinks about it but lays off. Catcher Courtier seems to think that. Seemed to feel like a strike to him. I'm sure Junebug Walking feels the same way. Ducey with the 2-0 pitch. Lays off, 3-0 count. It's high. So Ducey takes 4 straight pitches to draw the walk. Handing the bat off to Caleb Roberts. Number 8 playing center field. Called strike. It's a nice pitch in the outside corner. Caleb does not agree. That's hit in the gap over the left fielder's head. Ducey's trucking to third. Makes his way home. Ducey makes it from first to home, scoring the 9th run for the Bandits. And Caleb Roberts with a stand-up triple, batting out of the 9-hole. Nice hit for Caleb Roberts. We're back to the top of the lineup. Number 4, DH Chris Norris takes ball 1. Potential run rule here in the 3rd inning if Norris comes across home plate. Excuse me, Roberts come across home plate. Wow. Final score for the Yankees Colorado Rockies game, 13-1 in favor of the Yankees. Which the Rockies, if you follow Major League Baseball, are on track to have the worst record in MLB history. The first team to have an opportunity to fall 74 games behind first place. Unheard of. Norris takes a cut at it, misses for strike 3. Brings up the right fielder, Pueblo Figueroa. Off-speed pitch. That's Pueblo thinking a little bit. Ball definitely has some movement. That coming at 61 miles an hour, has a little slurve on it. Figueroa falls behind, 0-2 in the count with 1 out. Fouls that one off, stays alive. Got Pueblo Figueroa on the 62-mile-an-hour pitch there. Looks like Junebug has taken a little off his pitches. He was to the mid to high 60s. He's been working pretty regularly this inning, the low 60s, but nevertheless able to get Figueroa out for the 2nd out. And that brings up Nestor Nova, and that one is gone. Off the roof of the Joe Santos Bessemer Park restrooms. That was another no-doubter, and that is going to be a walk-off home run for Nestor Nova. That was deep, and that is the ball game. Final score, Pueblo Bandits 11, Cardinals of South Dakota 0. Once again, shout out to the Oglala Sioux tribe in South Dakota, cheering on their Cardinals here in Pueblo, Colorado. We're gonna take a break, maybe get a hot dog or a slopper or something in between games here. We'll be back here a little bit. Final score 11-0 favor of the Pueblo Bandits.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.